You know that feeling, right? That heavy, blurry sensation.
Mm.
You look at your to-do list, your goals.
Hmm.
They're all there, written out perfectly, but you can't act.
You're completely stuck.
Yeah, you feel vague, almost like everything's in slow motion. The sources we're looking at call that state, sometimes feeling mo.
Or blurry.
Well,
I think
yep.
that's a perfect word for it, for
Yeah.
that emotional fatigue. But what's so interesting is that this usually isn't a failure of discipline.
Right.
It's a failure of direction. So for this deep dive, we're not going to talk about forcing yourself to do things. We're going to focus entirely on purpose.
The why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the phrases you use to define who you are, those are what carry you forward, especially when you feel like you got nothing left in the tank.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the core paradox here. Why can one person push through years of absolutely exhausting work while someone else gives up when, everything seems fine?
When all the conditions are perfect.
Yeah, they have the time, the money, the support, and still nothing. And what is it about physical exhaustion, like just not getting enough sleep, that makes it so easy to forget your entire reason for living?
Well, I think it forces us to completely redefine what motivation even is.
How so?
Most of us treat it like a feeling, right? This happy, bubbly energy that you either have or you don't.
Yeah, like a resource that runs out.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But what our research shows is that motivation is actually an emotional system. It's a mechanism, and it uses both joy and pain to transmit energy into action. And if you don't engage that system, the energy just doesn't flow.
It all starts with one question.
It always, without exception, starts with that single grounding question: why?
That feels like a huge shift in framing. If motivation is a system that's powered by why, then, can that why really override deep physical depletion? It sounds almost superhuman.
It does, but the anecdote in our sources about 2 decades of extreme endurance,
Yeah.
it really puts that claim to the ultimate test.
Yeah, that story was incredible.
It's maybe the most powerful example I've seen of the sustaining power of purpose when literally everything else is failing.
So set the scene for us.
Okay, so the subject describes this lifelong struggle with sleep. It started way back in childhood, feeling inadequate and trying to make up for it by studying for hours and hours.
And what was driving that?
A very clear purpose, actually, to make the family proud. So it was emotional, it was external, and they built their entire professional life on that same foundation of helping others.
But the personal cost was just staggering. Walk us through the reality of their adult life for those 2 decades.
For nearly 20 years, this person was running on 2 to 4 hours of sleep a night.
2 to 4 hours.
And not good sleep either. It was broken, restless sleep.
That alone would break most people.
Right. Now combine that with a crazy professional schedule. They were traveling, speaking internationally, up to 235 days a year.
That's just, I can't even imagine. The exhaustion must have been profound.
It was. They described these moments of waking up in a hotel room and having no idea what city they were in.
Or even what country.
Exactly. Just lost in this mental fog of perpetual exhaustion.
That kind of chronic exhaustion, it usually leads to total collapse, depression, something. What was the physical root of the problem?
It took a long time to figure out, but a research study finally confirmed it.
Hmm.
Severe untreated sleep apnea. It was causing up to 200 respiratory interruptions every single night.
200. So they were basically suffocating multiple times an hour all night long.
For 20 years, which means they were never getting any real deep restorative sleep.
So, okay, the physical reason was eventually found and treated, but that still doesn't explain the 2 decades before that. How did the mind keep going when the body was in a constant state of crisis?
This is the core of it. This is where purpose proved itself. The answer wasn't caffeine. It wasn't some motivational speech they gave themselves.
Not even meditation, which they practiced.
Right. It was the constant internal return to that one question. Why do I continue this work right now, in this moment?
And what was the answer that kept coming up?
It was always about contribution. The purpose was they didn't want anyone else to struggle with that same feeling of inadequacy that they had.
So it was external. It wasn't about them.
Never. It was about serving a community they felt deeply connected to. That purpose was durable because it wasn't about personal gain.
And this is where the sources really pull out these foundational insights from that hardship. It's more than just a story. It's a case study.
Exactly. And the first lesson is a brutal one. Difficulty forces you to verify your own tools. If you're teaching resilience, you'd better be sure those principles work when your own mind is breaking down.
It's the ultimate quality control.
It really is. And the second lesson is about necessity. When your energy is critically low, you literally cannot afford to waste a single drop of it.
So it forces this extreme focus.
Extreme prioritization, clear commitment, and an absolutely non-negotiable reason for every single action.
I think that second point is crucial for everyone, not just someone in that extreme situation. We all have days where we're running on fumes.
We all do. And here's the crucial takeaway from all this. When you're exhausted, your sense of reality gets vague.
Yeah.
Your motivation, your emotions,
Yeah.
they become blurry.
And the why is what cuts through that.
The why is the only reliable lamp in that darkness. The sources call it the anden. It's the steady light when your internal GPS is completely offline.
Okay, that makes perfect sense conceptually. But if purpose is the lamp, we need to know how to build it, right? People are always confusing goals and passion and purpose.
All the time.
So let's unpack those distinctions.
Let's do it. So first, the big one, goal versus purpose. A goal, or mukti, is what you want to achieve.
The SMART goals we all know about.
Yeah.
Specific, measurable.
Right. All of that. But here's the thing. SMART is just the map. Purpose, or mukdich, is the reason you want to get to that destination in the first place.
And I can have a very SMART goal sitting on my desk and still procrastinate for weeks.
So you're saying if the goal doesn't connect to an emotion, procrastination is basically inevitable.
It's almost guaranteed. Think of it this way. SMART tells you if the path is technically right, but it does nothing for the fuel. To make sure you actually go, you need HEART.
HEART. Okay, that's a new acronym for me. Let's break it down.
So HEART stands for healthy, enduring, attractive, relevant, and true to yourself.
Okay, walk me through that.
Is this goal healthy for you and others? Is motivation enduring? Can it last? Is it genuinely attractive to you, or is it something you feel you should want?
The shoulds.
They're killers. Is it relevant to your life right now? And most importantly, is it true to you? Or is it a borrowed goal you picked up from your parents or Instagram?
That distinction between right and go is so clean. You need the logical map, but if the destination doesn't matter to your core self, you're not starting the car.
You're not even putting the key in the ignition. Now let's talk passion versus purpose. They feel similar, but they're not.
Passion is the fire, the lua. It's that inner spark of happiness you get from doing something.
Okay, so purpose is?
Purpose is the wind, the hungzhou. It's the force that takes that fire and shares it with others.
So passion is internal for me, but purpose is about my contribution to something external.
Precisely. You can be passionate about a dozen things, but purpose is that single red thread asking, what contribution do I want to make to life? Because without the wind of purpose, that fire just stays inside, uses up all the oxygen, and burns out.
This all seems to hinge on the definitions we use for ourselves. And the sources say the most powerful definition is our identity.
This is where it gets really transformative, because we're moving from doing to being. Identity. Bandung. The two most powerful words in your life are, I am.
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Absolutely. Whatever you place after those two words, your brain will work tirelessly to make it true.
Why is that? What's the mechanism there?
It's all about cognitive consistency. Your brain needs your behavior to match your deepest definition of who you are. So if you define yourself as, say, a reliable person.
Your brain helps you be on time, keep your promises.
Right. But if you define yourself as a quitter, your brain will actually sabotage you. It will find reasons to stop. Just stay consistent with that identity.
So I might quit not because it was too hard, but because quitting proved I was who I thought I was. That's a chilling thought.
It's chilling, but it's also incredibly empowering. It means if you rewrite the identity, you rewrite the behavior. The tip here isn't just about toxic positivity. It's about choosing definitions that are both true and uplifting.
Things like, I am a learner.
Perfect.
Or I am a person who keeps promises to myself. That one really forces you to be accountable.
Exactly. And holding all this out, purpose and identity are your values.
Jetray.
Values. This is where it gets messy in the real world.
It really is, because if a goal, even a purposeful one, violates one of your core values, you will find a way to self-sabotage every time. Give me an example.
If your number one value is family connection, but your goal requires you to work 80 hours a week away from home, your entire system is going to rebel against that goal.
And what about when values themselves conflict? Because that happens all the time. You value financial security, but you also value creative freedom.
Which is why your values must have a hierarchy. So many conflicts in life happen because our values are out of order, or we define them differently than the people around us. You can't serve everything at once.
Mm.
Prioritization is essential for purpose to last.
Okay, so we have the structure. Purpose is the direction, identity is the vehicle, values are the guardrails. But how do we get that engine started day to day?
We have to engage the emotional system. As humans, we decide with emotion and then we justify with logic.
Always.
So to build motivation that lasts, you have to make the future feel present. The pain of staying the same and the pleasure of changing need to be felt now.
We have to create an emotional charge.
That's it. And the sources suggest a simple exercise. Write 2 lists. And don't just write them, really feel them.
What's the first list?
List 1 is the cost of staying the same, the pain. You have to get vivid. What will you lose now and in the future if you don't change?
So asking things like, if I'm still here in a year, what opportunities are gone? How will I feel about myself?
Exactly. Make it visceral. Then, list 2 is the benefit of change, the attraction. You immerse yourself in the reward.
When I achieve this, how will my body feel? What will my relationships look like?
You got it. And when you do that, you're building a sustainable system. It's a system of habits born from that deep alignment of purpose, identity, and values.
Okay, this is a lot to take in. Let's try to synthesize this down into, say, 7 key takeaways, the absolute core nuggets of this deep dive.
I like it. Okay, 7 keys. Number 1, when you're tired, stop asking, how do I force myself? Start asking, why must I act?
Number 2, goals are great maps, but they're not fuel. Purpose is what pulls you through the darkness.
3, remember the equation. Smart helps you be right, but heart helps you go.
4, passion is your inner fire, but purpose is the wind that carries it to others. Without the wind, the fire dies.
5, I am is a self-fulfilling prophecy. To change your behavior, you have to rewrite that identity statement first.
6, values need a hierarchy. If you don't prioritize them, you will self-sabotage when they inevitably conflict.
And number 7, which I think is so important for today's world. When your energy is low, you must choose JOMO, the joy of missing out.
The joy of missing out on things that don't serve your purpose.
You have to be aggressive about it. Burnout almost always comes from failing to protect your time and your energy.
It's about being clear on what's an absolutely yes and what's an absolutely no.
And when fuel is low, almost everything has to be an absolutely no. You have to be ruthless about protecting that lamp.
Okay, let's leave everyone with 3 small, concrete exercises they can start today to build this structure.
Great idea.
Exercise 1, the 60-second I am exercise. Just grab a piece of paper and for 1 minute, write down everything that comes to mind after the words I am. Don't filter it. Then look at the list, underline the statements that pull you down, and immediately rewrite 3 new ones that lift you up and align with where you want to go.
I love that. Okay, exercise 2, the 5 values list. Choose your 5 most important values, things like integrity, connection, freedom, whatever they are for you.
And then rank them.
And put them in strict order, 1 through 5. That hierarchy becomes your compass when you have to make a tough decision.
Perfect. And finally, exercise 3, the pre-action question. Before you commit to anything significant, a meeting, a project, ask yourself this one question. Why must I use this energy? What purpose does this serve?
Make every action accountable to your why.
Yes.
You know, the most beautiful thing about all this, about finding your purpose, is that it doesn't just save you when you're exhausted. It saves every single person who comes into contact with your life, with your work.
There are going to be days, probably lots of them, where you don't have that happy, bubbly feeling of motivation. That's just part of being human.
It's inevitable.
But if your why is real enough, if it's truly rooted in who you are and what you want to contribute, it just won't let you vanish back into that blur.
And that's the final thought, really. When you live true to your I am, you won't have to try to appear strong. You will just be steady. When your purpose is clear, you walk like someone holding a lamp in their own hand. You don't lack motivation. You just lack a clear nanan, a clear why, and a true I am.